My name is Paul. I was 8 years old and living in Echo Park at the time of the LA riots. I refer to the event as Saigu. So Saigu is literally translated as 3 digits, 4, 2, and 9. And that's pretty much the way that Korean Americans and Koreans attach significance to an event. I remember I was in elementary school at the time. I was about 8, so I must have been around 3rd grade, possibly 4th grade. And the school was on break at the time because of the emergency. And I remember I was just around the apartment and just, the radio noise in the background, radio was always on, television was on every once in a while just for updates. I think my mom was listening to radio and she said, I just can't stand sitting around. I just got to get up and do something. And so there was just a lot of sort of a frustration and also a bit of anger about a lot of the, just kind of like the product of the civil unrest, the rioting, the burning buildings. Also, a lot of Korean Americans were victims at the time. So my mom just had a lot of frustration and anger because of that. So she said, I just can't sit around anymore. I gotta get up and do something. And I think on the radio there was this mention about sort of a peace rally and a march. And I think this was organized by students and other community activists. And so my mom just said, hey, let's go out there. And I think she just kind of took a hold of my hand, and we went there together. And this the rally point was in Koreatown on Olympic, and I don't know where the cross-street is, but it's in the heart of Koreatown, and there's a park there. So I remember we gathered there for a little bit, and my recollection is that I just saw a lot of folks in the community. I saw different generations there, senior citizens, student activists, and a lot of other races and ethnicities as well. And I remember we just started on the march. I mean, we went through Koreatown, and I do distinctly remember the chant that we said. We said, we want peace and we want justice, and we just kept on chanting that over and over again. And we were raising peace signs as we were doing that. And I remember there was one point where we kind of went over this hill in Koreatown, and it was on Western and somewhere. But as we were going past that hill, we just saw a sea of heads, of all the people who were marching, and it was just an incredible sight. I mean, just the amount of the number of people, and also the amount of unity around this slogan of peace and justice, I thought was incredible. Another thing that I remember was the National Guards. At that time, the National Guards were called. I remember that there were actually National Guardsmen who were sitting on the sidewalk, just kind of lying down and taking a rest in the shade. They were taking a nap. So I could kind of infer that it was probably a hot day, and that they probably didn't have much to do. But I do remember the National Guardsmen, and just kind of wondering why they had to rise so late. But those are some of the images that I do remember. I remember the burnt red sunset. I remember the mornings when you would see a thin layer of ashes on top of our car, yeah, I just remember just a lot of anxiety and uncertainty during those 3 days.